Hi, my name is Claire Castillo,
And my name is Lauren Falk.
and in this video we discuss our senior project, Baba Small Batch Business Advancement, Facility Redesign and Production Plan.
Just to give you an idea of what we'll cover in this video, we'll first give you a background of Baba Small Batch, who is the client of the project, and tell you the problem we've tackled for them. We'll then briefly discuss our literature review and dive into the approach we took into our twofold project concerning a facility redesign and the creation of a simplistic production plan. Then we'll finish off with the results and conclusion and bring up some potential projects that Baba Small Batch is interested in pursuing in the future.
Baba Small Batch is a small-scale food producer in San Luis Obispo who produces a variety of authentic handmade Mediterranean products. They offer a large variety of products including hummus, salads, and pita. Their customer base consists of both farmers markets and grocery stores located throughout California. The demand for their product is currently higher at grocery stores and farmers markets, due to their constantly increasing demand and growth in the commercial market. In the past, they have worked with a lot of different groups who have gathered and analyzed data to gain knowledge of the current production system and to suggest improvements. Before these groups, Baba Small Batch had never been evaluated by any sort of system engineer, so they had no production data surrounding their manufacturing process. This gave these groups the opportunity to start from scratch to gather any and all analytical data that they use to conduct their studies. This data has been passed to us so that we can further understand where the client currently stands. Additionally, before moving forward with the project, an extensive literature review was conducted on food processing and facilities planning and design to provide foundational insight and support for the project.
The issues we will focus on for this project are twofold. Number one, the current facility layout of Baba Small Batch has a process flow of workers and materials during the hummus production which overlaps itself, resulting in non-value added activities. The facility has not been assessed for an optimal, efficient layout in order to eliminate these non-value added activities. The facility also contains underutilized equipment, which is taking away space from other production material or equipment and preventing potential production capacity increase. And two, Baba Small Batch has a shortage of resources for the production demand due to rapid growth in sales. With no standardized or calculated production plan system currently in place, it has inhibited their ability to produce the correct product mix, reorder correct supplies, forecast order trends, and track inventory.
The steps we followed for the facility redesign are shown here using a systematic approach. These steps include defining the problem or goal, then defining the departments of the facility, as well as the relationships between these different departments. Once these steps are completed, space requirements are determined to develop multiple alternative layouts and evaluate these layouts using specific metrics. These results will be used to determine which layout would be most effective to select for implementation in the facility, which is steps 7 and 8.
This is a simplified initial facility floor plan at Baba Hummus. To highlight a few key areas, the office space is approximately a third of the facility. The rest of the facility includes the kitchen area and the production area. As you can see, there are no defined departments or workstations. This is why our top considerations include storage, organization, and process flow.
Here is the flow diagram for the worker to go from start to finish during a typical production batch. The red path shows the flow for hummus production, and the blue path is the pita chip production. As you can see, the path is convoluted and the worker flow overlaps itself frequently. If a worker is doing this roughly 20 times a day, the non-value activity adds up significantly. Our goal with the redesign is to minimize the distance traveled.
We made a number of different layouts, but decided that this one optimized the facility and provided a number of benefits that we'll go into detail about in the next few slides. But before we do, it should be known that we made this layout by defining departments based on processes or functions within the facility, like hummus and pita production or storage space. Also, we made 4 assumptions that limit the redesign of the facility, including number 1, equipment that is not being used will be sold. Number 2, some items will be kept at the facility as part of their renter's agreement. Number 3, the filling and sealing machine will not be moved. And number 4, the purchase of the new labeling machine will be added to the new layout.
Here's the updated office space. What's important to note here is that it was only reduced by 5.4% by the curtain being turned perpendicular to the wall. We designated an area for pallet storage next to one of the double doors for an easy access for receivables. Notice also that there is a walkway reserved in case of emergency. We suggested that they create a shadow box on the floor to easily locate the designated pallet areas.
Based on our capacity calculations for the fridges, One of our recommendations is to switch the contents of the farmer's market fridge and the raw materials fridge in the kitchen. Currently, there are 2 raw materials fridges that have a combined capacity of 600 tubs of hummus, and the farmer's market fridge can hold 720. However, the farmer's market fridge is only being roughly 70% utilized, which is about 504 tubs. And to improve the flow of both the hummus production process and pita chip process, we recommend the content of these fridges to be switched.
We suggested that they move some of the extra shelves into the kitchen to reduce traveling distance when adding raw materials into the mixers.
This diagram shows the updated pita chip flow in the designated areas specialized for pita prep, pita packaging, and pita storage.
By executing these recommendations, this is the projected process flow following the same process steps for both pita production and hummus production. The distance traveled for pita chip production was reduced by 54%. Additionally, the distance traveled for hummus production was reduced by 23%.
We've investigated some of the cost benefits for selling different kind of refrigerators that aren't being utilized and proposed it to the client to take advantage of this capital by using it to add additional equipment such as the labeling machine or filling pump.
We also created a future layout once the client invests in the new labeling machine and filling pump, which would decrease the lead time of their product as well as contribute to a more ergonomic setup for the workers because less intensive labor will be needed. Also, the entire kitchen space is dedicated to pita production and raw material storage. The downside of this is having increased difficulty of cleaning the mixers due to space limitations and clearance, and a noisier environment for the office with the addition of equipment in the production area. This affects the whole facility. As you can see with this future layout, the distance traveled for production is reduced by 71% for pita and 66% for hummus per batch.
Baba Small Batch has implemented the recommendations but are still working on selling some of their equipment. So overall, both management and the staff are super pleased with the results.
In order to address the second problem of this project, we collaborated with a consultant from Slow Hot House to research the best solution to the client's inventory tracking and reordering issues. Our final recommendation was a Google Sheets form that allowed the production manager to input batch records and sales orders in real time to the office manager. Then that data could be used to accurately track inventory, reorder supplies, and forecast product demand and trends.
In conclusion, major results from our project are the reduction in distance traveled in both pita production and hummus production, as well as creation of a production plan that is low cost, effective, and user-friendly.
Here are some potential projects that Baba is interested in conducting in the near future. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to our project.